The weekend is here and rest is near. Plus Sports and Plus TV Africa. My name is Wale Scott. Welcome to the show. I've got Victor V6 on the show, all the way from Cameroon. Victor, good morning.
Good morning, Wale. Thank you so much for having me on the show. It's always a pleasure being here on Plus TV and Plus Sports.
Like I was telling you before we came on the show, I'm not going to discuss the Nations Cup now. That's not what I want to discuss. I want to discuss something more serious, something more embarrassing to Nigeria as a country. Now, barely 48 hours after joining the English Premier League side, Watford, Samuel Kalu has been heavily taunted on social media over his real age, as several Hornets fans insist he is older than 24, his age. Now, the relegation-threatened club announced the signing of the Nigerian winger on a 3.5-year deal from the French Le Championnat side Girondin Bordeaux on Wednesday night. Kalu is the Hornets' fourth signing of the January window, following the arrival of fullback Hassani Kamara, central defender Samir and midfielder Edo Kayembe, after he was officially unveiled by the club, with his picture and that of the new manager Roy Hodgson posted on the club's Twitter handle. Watford fans took social media to query the 24-year-old winger's real age. A Twitter user, MD, said he's 24 the length of time he's been at Bordeaux because he's not 24 years old. Jordan Lee wrote, "More Kanu than Kalu. He is definitely not 24." Now, Blaine Murphy on Twitter said there's no way he's 24. The next one to find out he's got 4 different birth certificates. Another Watford fan, Jason Genova, added, "You've been duped by a fake birth certificate." Now, lad, you're sure he's 24? Looks older than half the upper Graham Taylor says. Now, Saab said, now Gavin Smith said he would love to see Kalu's birth certificate. He wrote, "I would definitely ask to see his birth certificate." Okay, now, Victor, I can assure you, I am boastfully saying this. I am beating my chest and saying this. I can go to Ikeja right now with 2,500 naira and get a birth certificate. It's that bad. But it's so bad now that African footballers you look at them and you will know this man is my grandpa, and he will tell you he's 18. No, really, it's sad.
Actually, to be honest with you, I think I can pass off as a 24-year-old compared to
Exactly. I can pass that.
I saw it on social media yesterday when it was not even only on Twitter, it was also on Instagram, and it was not only by fans. An international media company actually posted that quote and says, "Is he actually 24?" And I think it's a reality that we've accepted here in Nigeria. We all know that our players are not their actual age. For instance, how can anyone tell me that Ahmed Musa is under 30? Come on, we all know that's not the case. So even from the looks of Kalu, of course, he used to play for the Super Eagles, or he's still a Super Eagles, depending when he's reinvited into the national team. He's not 24. It's very sad. It's a sad reality because this has shown that exposed many Nigerian players in the past. We've seen this happen to Julius Agawa when he went to Wigan. He struggled because he wasn't his actual age. You saw Taiwo, who was supposed to be the next big thing in terms of being one of the best fullbacks in the world at the time, but he was already in his prime when he was supposed to be under 20. So it's nothing new. It's a sad reality. And it's very funny because it's not about the British media, is it not to blow things out of proportion, or they will even make it bigger than it really is. Here in Nigeria, we are used to it. We call it football age. There's a term for it. Is that your real age or your football age? Because we all know that our footballers always go to Europe with this very, like you mentioned, fake birth certificates or even sworn affidavits to change their age so that they can most likely have a longer playing career. But who are you really deceiving? The body eventually tell on you. Everybody is not Cristiano Ronaldo or it's like an Ibrahimovic that can play to their 40s and still claim to be 25 years old. So it's very, very sad, like you mentioned. It's very embarrassing. And we all know in Nigeria, it's tongue-in-cheek, we know that our player, Kalu, is not 24 years old. Everybody knows that. That's a fact.
Okay, now, Okay, now, I hope Onoja can help me do this. It's a favor I'm asking. If you can put the phone lines on the screen so you can call and ask us why this age cheat thing is beginning to embarrass Africans and Nigerians on a regular basis. Now, Victor, you mentioned Taiwo. I remember a point in time where Taiwo was supposedly 21, and his twin in Nigeria was much, much older. And I remember a time that Pius Ikedia was an under-17 player in Nigeria, and he was already a sergeant in the police force. And we know how long that takes to become a sergeant in the police force. Come on. And go on.
The thing is this, the reality is that this is a reflection of the structure when it comes to sports development in Africa. It's not really a Nigerian thing. I mean, I saw an interview of a Zambian player who was supposed to be 17 years old. And like I said, this is not about my genes. I look younger than this man that's supposed to be 17. I'm like, if he's 17, then what am I, 12? You know, so, and this is...
You're not born yet.
I'm not born yet.
Yeah.
So the reflection now, we don't have good academy system. We don't have a fantastic system for young talents in Nigeria. We don't have fantastic academies. Nigerian Professional Football League, as I've been corrected many times, I don't say local league anymore. Our Professional Football League doesn't have any sense of professionalism when it comes to development or having a fantastic academy system or a youth system where you can develop players. And they don't have to lie or cheat about their age, because the reality is that Samuel Kalu now doesn't have, he didn't go through like a Manchester United academy or an Arsenal academy or even Chelsea or even the one at Barcelona or even at Ajax. He played on the streets of here in Nigeria, and this is a chance. Okay, let's say he got his big book at the age of 29. Obviously, his passport or his birth certificate, he will have to say lie and say, okay, look, I'm 17 years old. And by the time that gets, okay, you mentioned Taiwo. I remember when he was at Olympic Marseille, he was one of the best fullbacks in the world. Promising fullback. Of course, he had fantastic performances with Super Eagles of Nigeria back then as well, as one of our best left backs. And then he was signed by AC Milan when Maldini was retiring. And the plan was, okay, this is a young defender from Africa. He will give us a long-term replacement and long-term service the way Maldini, who just retired, give to us. That was the plan when they signed him at AC Milan. And we all know how that went. It was an absolute disaster. Same with Daniel Amokachi. Daniel Amokachi went to Everton. As a matter of fact, he said when he went to Everton, he thought he was going to like bamboozle everybody. But by the time you go to England, you discover it's actually different. And if you're not young or physically strong, you would suffer in that league. If you're not actually young, you will suffer in that league. Another example is Samson Siasia. I was a young football fan when I realized that Samson Siasia and Luis Figo played in the same under-20 tournament. And yet still, Siasia retired way before Luis Figo. And I was like, how is that even possible? You think? So it is very sad. It's a sad reality. I think now this should be an eye-opener for us to have a wonderful youth system in Nigeria so that our players wouldn't have to lie. You look at the national team now, we have many people that have my complexion, mixed individuals.
Exactly.
But the reason is that these guys actually grew up in Europe. So they're not actually lying about their age. Like Maduka Okoye is actually 22 or 21 years old. He's not like, okay, look at our goalkeeper, Francis Uzoho. When he was at the World Cup in 2018, they said he was 19 years old. I'm like, how can Francis Uzoho be 19 years old? I'm not saying he's lying or he's cheating, but look at his picture. How can our youngest ever goalkeeper at the World Cup look like that? And he's 19. Look at Sam. Look at the images, guys. I mean, this man is obviously 19 years old.
Come on, Victor. Now you can call.
34.
You can call on the show.
34, but it's not 24.
Yeah, you guys can call on the show and actually tell us your opinion. Why do Africans and why do Nigerians, why are we embarrassing each other like this? It's very obvious. This guy is as old as my grandfather, and you are saying he's 24. Well, whatever. But let's just say maybe it's just genes, okay? But I remember very well when I was a cub reporter, and I used to be I was there at Nigeria 99, and I had players there. Now I had Ronaldinho in the Brazilian team. I had Peter Crouch in the English team. And they played for a long time. And the only player I had left that played for a year or 2 years after then was Joseph Yobo. The rest of them I can't find anymore. This age cheat thing is beginning to affect Africans and Nigeria, and we must realize that. Victor. Okay, we lost Victor for now, but we must realize that this age thing is beginning to affect us. You can't cheat nature. If you are 80, your body will act 80. That's just the way it is. And if you tell me, now people are saying, okay, Kalu is not 24, then it doesn't look 24. The fans are already complaining before he kicks the first ball. Okay, Victor, what I'm saying is it's obvious that this will affect us on the long term. Why are we lying to each other?
You mentioned something in Nigeria 99, and I'm going to use that as an example. You're actually right. There are other great players that played at that tournament that people don't even realize. You mentioned Ronaldinho. For Spain, they had a very young goalkeeper called Iker Casillas.
Casillas,
Japan,
yes.
They had Kata.
Yeah.
Spain had Xavi, you know. So it had Xavi. They even had Alonso as well in that tournament. And you mentioned these players went on to have incredible careers as time went on. But that generation, as a matter of fact, apart from Julius Agawa and maybe Pius Ikedia to an extent, that entire generation just, Rabi Afolabi was maybe the only one that maybe also had a great, career. It affects us in the long term because you expect, for instance, Nigeria has the best record in terms of winning the Under-17 World Cup. We are the most successful team in the world. We won it 5 times. But yet still, each time we win that World Cup and that tournament, those players don't progress. I'll give an example in, I think, 2007 or 2009, or even 8. I think that was, 2007, when you had the likes of the late Yemi Teller, that died. But you have Pete Santos, you had Rabiu, you had Ajiboye in goal. You had a few players at that tournament. As a matter of fact, that tournament had a young player called Toni Kroos from Germany. Kroos still plays for Real Madrid till this day. The top scorer of that tournament, Chris Santos, only God knows where he is. So these things we do will affect us on the long run.
For the record, when Chris Santos went to Hamburg, he was supposedly 18 years old, and when he eventually got an injury, they said an 18-year-old young man should not have an injury that should last for this long. They didn't say it wasn't 18, but what they meant was, does an 18-year-old boy have an injury for this long in Hamburg, in the Bundesliga? That's Christantus Macaulay. It's affecting us at the end points.
Yeah, it does. It affects us because don't even imagine by now that if your team has won. For instance, now, Nigeria 99 was won by Spain. Spain won that. They beat Japan 4-1 in the final. I remember I was there. I was a young boy. I was a ball boy, actually, at the tournament.
Okay, Victor, slow down, please. I've got Agada from Katsina State. Good. Welcome, Agada, on the show.
This issue of age that we are talking of, I think, yes.
I can't hear you. Go on.
Hello?
I can't hear you. Go on.
This age issue that you are talking of, if you look at it, it is issue of skills. And if you come to talk of age, they tried him and they found him worthy. If you look at Nigeria, our politicians, even in the armed forces, the police, when you see some people that are still in the force, looking at them physically, they should have retired long ago. And this guy is a player. If at all, they cannot take him. But it is the issue of skills. And for anything, they may not even use him more than 5-6 years. There's no job in Nigeria. Even those go to NYC camp today and see, not when people like us said that we went with our age. Nobody takes you for a job here when you are more than 35. And they make people to lie. Go to NYC camp today and see people up to 50 still serving, claiming that they are less than 30. But the thing is, if we have Nigeria, we claim to be very religious. So where do you think you are going with that type of life?
Thank you very much, Agada.
People are doing all this, and if you like most of the people contesting today, you hear them talking of what is their age. What is their age?
Thank you very much, Agada. Victor, Agada called from Katsina. Yes. Now, don't forget, we're still taking your calls this morning about how age cheating is affecting and embarrassing African. But Victor, Agada says that, listen, for how long that even parents would swear and lie because they are looking at the Mikel Obis of this world and the monies they've made, and they don't care. It's about their children making money.
I agree with that sentiment. There's actually something that usually happened in our culture here in Africa. I'm pretty sure you've experienced this as well. As a younger kid, when my great-grandparents and my parents were, alive and they passed on, I usually used to ask, like, how old were they? And my mom like, we don't really know. We're just estimating. So I think it has actually been a thing here in Africa whereby we are not too sure of our age. Obviously, with modern technology and advancement in healthcare, when you give birth to your child, you have a birth certificate to show the date of birth. Like he's mentioned, is part of our society and our system. He just said something that was really, really remarkable. Some of our politicians and our top-level military officials, you see them, and you're like, this man should be retired, but yet still he's, in quotes, 43 years old. It is very, very sad, like you also mentioned, it's all about money, but it is also a reflection of the economy or the political landscape of a particular nation. And this is very, very prevalent in third world countries. Countries whereby things are not going so well, people look for means to find an escape, to find money. However, there's something called Project Mbappe, which is like a term on social media, right? Which is basically having a young kid and you're trying to make him become the next superstar. Like, we all know how Mbappe broke onto the scene as a teenager at the World Cup 2018. But the reality is this, if you really is talented, put him through the right system, invest in your child, and let him most likely go to an academy, because there are many private academies now popping up right, left, and center. You have the internet search, and so you don't have to have a child, for instance, that will bring you embarrassment in the future when you are, maybe your child is 43 years old and he's now the next under 17 superstar. That's just not right. So Victor, I agree. I think yes.
I want to thank you very much for joining us on the show today. Thank you very much.
It's always a pleasure.
You've been very helpful.
You get me to this point. I'm so excited now. I have to go.
Victor, don't forget on your way from Cameroon back to Nigeria, that jacket you are wearing is actually mine. Bring it back. Bring my jacket back, please. Just bring my jacket back, I beg. Thank you very much for joining us, Victor. Now, RB Leipzig in the Bundesliga celebrated their 100th win on Sunday with a 2-0 win over Wolfsburg. First promoted to Germany's top division in 2016, the Roten Ballenhav reached the century mark in just 190 games. That was Argentina against Chile, not RB Leipzig. And of course, Angel Di Maria was on fire. But the Australian Open is still on, and Ashley Barty stood one win away from ending Australia's 44-year wait for a homegrown champion after she defeated American Madison Keys 6-1, 6-3 in the Australian Open semi-final. The Wimbledon champion continued a remarkable run during the past fourth night in Melbourne Park and reached the final without dropping a set, losing just 21 games in 6 matches. Victory on Sunday would make Barty the first local to win the Australian Open since Chris O'Neill in 1978. Barty is the first Australian to reach a final at home since Leighton Hewitt in 2005 will play either 7th seed Igor Swiatek or American 27th seed Daniel Collins in the decider. She loves playing in Australia. Why not? She's Australian and she's homegrown. Ashley Barty just might take this one home. And she's going to be the first Australian to win this since 1978. Massive, if you ask me. Plus Sports and Plus TV Africa on a Friday. The weekend is here. Rest is near. Thank you very much, Victor, for joining us all the way from Cameroon today. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Onoja. Thank you very much, Kay. Thank you very much, Ajasa AJ. I call him almost married. Yes, for Queen. Thank you very much, Belema. She had my back all the way this morning. Thank you very much, Tayo, behind the cameras. Thank you very much, downstairs, the powerhouse, D1, Dio. Thank you. Well, I'm leaving with the NBA today. Luka Doncic posted an impressive triple-double on Wednesday, helping the Dallas Mavericks to a 1-3-2-1-1 win over the Portland Trail Blazers. Join us same time next week, Monday, on Plus Sports and Plus TV Africa. My name is Wale Scott. Like I always advise you at the end of every show, if not for anything, at least for your heart, do some sports.